Let me just make a comment here. Jeffrey has a long background in the world of investment. He spent a lot of time in Manhattan, I believe, and managed some very large funds and so forth, and he has a very thorough understanding of the whole idea of investment monies and how to create a great return on investment for other folks. He is very capable of talking to the most savvy investor. All right? I personally am not, so I'm glad to have Jeffrey as my teammate. All right, let's go to the next question, again from Mr. Bob Carper in New Hampshire. What is the target turnkey cost per square foot for the cabin series? And let me address that first, and others can comment as well. The cabin series is being created to answer the market call for a lower cost product. So it will be more in line with our normal Tennessee log and timber homes that we sell. I would say that it would probably, the best we could probably do would be in the neighborhood of $125 per square foot, something like that, working its way on up, of course, with the actual finish work that's done. But these will be much more in line. They will specify more normal materials rather than some of the higher priced vintage materials, and they're going to be competitive in the marketplace of the log and timber homes arena. All right, any other comments about that? All right, next question is from the one and only Travis McKenzie in Colorado. Travis is a wonderful person and a builder, and he asks, please explain more about the Winterwoods Building Group and their building capabilities and costs across the country. I'm going to let Matthew address that question.
Hey, Travis. One of the things, I think Chad might have said a little bit about this, I'm not sure, but as far as being a builder, if you're going to be a builder, you know, one of the best scenarios, and without getting into a lot of scenarios, is the fact that if you're in Colorado and you have a client that you need to, you know, have Jeffrey come down or come up and talk with for an investment purpose or for design purposes or any of those options, what we're trying to do is we're not trying to, you know, push all of this stuff, or Jeffrey's not trying to push all of these business models onto you as a builder to say you need to do this, this, and this, but you can adopt any part of those business models, and as a builder, like myself and yourself, you know, we don't have to, we want you to build the home. I mean, that's the purpose. So if it's your client, and all of the Winterwoods Building Group is doing is basically, if Jeffrey generates a lead on his website, a lead that you or I normally wouldn't have, then basically the work's coming to you because it's in your area. So it's a great thing, and if, you know, basically Chad would come in and he would say, you know, he'd say, Travis, here's the lead. We've been working this. We want you to be our general contractor and do the whole project. So it would entail you would just be receiving work from Winterwoods Homes. So that was the hardest thing for me to understand as a builder, is that you would be receiving the work from these guys, and just by being a part of the business model. So I could shed a little bit more light on that. And the other good thing about being a builder, as you know, or a bad thing, I would say, is all of the paperwork and the paper trail, and, you know, trying to get a consumer or a client to go through the building process. If Winterwoods Homes generates that lead in your area and decides that they're going to build a house with Winterwoods Homes and you're going to be the general contractor, it's a Winterwoods Homes contract, which means you still make the same money you would make if you were going to build the home, plus money as a project manager. So you could do very well by working with these guys on an ongoing basis as a builder. So I hope that answered your question.
Okay, boy, we got a lot of questions coming in, guys. So we're gonna keep going as long as we can here. Morris Worthington, Hubba Bubba over in South Carolina. I visited Morris recently, and he cooked me He cooked me the biggest breakfast I've ever eaten, complete with eggs, bacon, grits, biscuits, gravy. It was awesome. Morris asks, if we want to introduce this business model to a developer, do we go through Robert or Jeffrey? That's a good question. I think if you go to either one of us, it will come back to the other because we're kind of like Siamese twins. We're joined at the hip. So I would recommend that you call me first, but if you don't reach me for any reason, feel free to contact Jeffrey, and he will turn around and let me know about the call. All right, Mark Effinger asked, when you said $125 per square foot on the Cabin Creek homes, are you referring to turnkey or package price? That would be the turnkey price. That would be the very lowest I think you could go with these models, Mark. And you may not even be able to get there, but my point is about the price, the total cost of the cabin series. It's going to be very similar to any other log home type package that you are currently building in your neck of the woods. So if you're currently running around $150 a square foot, these will also fall in line with that. They're designed to be more in the mainstream price range as opposed to the higher end. Okay? Let's see. Next question, Gus Ferendorf in Wisconsin, I believe. So there would be a $10,000 fee for being a general contractor. I think that there will be a $10,000 payment to the building consultant who works through Winterwood's building group, and they act as a project manager on the job. So the $10,000 is an opportunity for you to earn that money if you can effectively fulfill the role of project manager on any job going through the Winterwoods group. All right, I have just a few more questions here. Here's one that says, is there a lower preliminary design fee to drag someone off the market? Well, we would use our normal service packs that we've created. The lowest priced service pack that we have is the design pack, and it's $1.50 a square foot. So this would not deviate in any way from our standard business practices in regard to service packages. Matthew has a comment about that as well. Go ahead, Matthew.
Yeah, I was gonna say, with the example of Mike Cook, one of our clients that Jeffrey and I closed together, you know, basically what we want you to understand is we used the design pack. It was $1.50 per square foot. We had him sign that design pack. I think he gave us a check for $2,500 or $3,500. I don't know exactly what it was, but long story short, since it was one of Winterwood's Homes designs, I'm going to be paid an additional $1,000 for just pushing and promoting that design. So that's the big thing. You know, if you're selling 3 or 4 or 5 homes a year, or 1 home a year, or 10 or 15, I don't know what you guys sell, you know, it's very much worth, if someone comes to you and they just want that basic home, look through the portfolio of the book that was provided to you through the sales and marketing collateral and say, this home is a lot like the Checkerberry or the T-Berry, and use that as a template versus using, you know, one of the standard plans. Now, a lot of clients may come to you and say, we're set on this plan, and that's fine, but, you know, if you could use one of the Winterwoods Homes designs and make as many changes, nothing changes from the standard procedure that we go through now.